Okay, let's take a mold out. This is my Harbor Freight paint pot. Scooch this back a little bit. Good Armored Pig right there, yeah. So right now, I'm setting at just around 40 psi. Just under 40 psi. So one thing that's neat. This is my. Let me take an output of here, right? This thing's loud. Well, what I found, and I found this tutorial. I'll try to link it. This one might not be as good as it is in my large one, but it's still loud. Not as loud. So I'm gonna let that whole thing pour out of its go juice. Now we're gonna start loosening it up. Now again, this is the Harbor Freight paint pot. You'll notice that on 3 of my handles, I've made 3D printed devices that go over the handles, make it substantially easier to get in there and turn, as compared to the tiny ones. Don't get me wrong, they're still not as good as the new ones. Get this tiny one open. Now the true question is, did the silicone mold I make mixing paint in set? Sure feels like it. So let's go and take this out of here. And then we'll clear off our cable and come right back. Here we go. Last night I poured the lid on this. In the middle of the night, ran my air compressor. Not a single person complained. So, to my neighbors, if you were just cool and didn't complain, thank you. If it woke you up, I'm sorry. It looks like it's... Oh no, I'm sorry, we started a new dice. I thought new dice mold, blah blah blah. I thought this was just the lid. But it's a full mold, which is fine. So I'm using the Tacrow, little Tacrow dice shops. You got the cool logo, it's backwards right now. You got the Tacrow mold system. It's a very slick system. It uses laser cut acrylic. They all interlock. I had quite a bit of leakage on this one apparently. But they all interlock. Let me talk like a little flashing to form a pretty tight bond or seal themselves. I just follow up with a little bit of tape, painter's tape myself. Some people use packing tape, but I have painter's tape, so that's what I used. I'm not really concerned with this on the outside. Try to keep that one pile for easy cleanup a little bit later. Because a clean shop's a happy shop. Right now my shop is not very happy. So, first things first is we want to, after getting this flashing off, we want to try to very gently get the mold popped apart. I say very gently because acrylic is very breakable. You can actually see right here the first time I cast a mold, broke that, but I put that together with this crazy glue, which is fine. So I'll usually start getting in there, pulling the back away a little bit, and the tips, the ends, whatever, they usually come out. See that? One dice got a little close to the edge, so see how well that holds. It is right there. I'll tell you that much. Now, be able to pull some of this away. What I did is I mixed some bloody red Vallejo game color into here, into my silicone mixture after I'd already made sure it was well mixed. See? Oh, look, see, I broke my other piece again. Maybe not. Oh, I bet you it came off of. We also. Oh, yep, came out the same place as before. Not the end of the world. Let's take it back on. Now, this is the bottom. I'm going to be careful when peeling it off. That's just the bottom one. There is the inlay here, which helps create keys automatically. So now, when we do lift this away, one thing that does happen, I've noticed, is you get a little bit of, so you can see here, zoom in a little bit. Sorry, I'm left-handed, so you're not going to be able to see much. I'll try. Get a little bit of silicone buildup sometimes. I find it super easy to cover along the existing points here, very gently. If there's anything there, which doesn't actually look like there is, we should peel away a little bit easier as long as it's not coming over that other side. It'll be alright. Here's where we got to be careful because we don't want to lift the dies out of the mold. So we can start by taking this last corner piece off. I'm going to put that to the side because this is the one again that broke. Made it for, it's the third mold it's gone through since it broke. So this. Right back up with that with some glue, I think. Yep. So put this to the side where I don't get caught up in anything. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this and hopefully the dice stay down. It doesn't really matter if the tape comes up. The tape's going to come off anyway. As long as that tape doesn't remove any of the dice, we're going to be good. Usually I'm worried right about here with my D4s and my D6. Those are the easiest to get out. Plus I think I have a Gem D4 down there at the bottom. But look at that. Nice and clean. So I remove the double-sided tape I use to stick it down with. There's your Tacrow mold system. Now I want to, before I go too far, I like to trim any of the flashing off of here to start the prep. All right. So now we got it cleaned up for the most part. One thing I do is I go through and I check and see if any actual silicone coated over any of the face edges here. Just gently rub them. And it doesn't seem that any silicone got between the dice faces. That's perfect. So next up here is, I don't have mold release, but good old Vaseline for the trick. Get yourself some Vaseline and a cotton swab. Get the tip nice and good. Maybe not that good. But what I like to do is I like to start with the upper edges here. If you have any flashing you didn't get off, make sure you get that covered. I kind of developed my little system along these upper edges here first. Your goal is to try to not get anything on the dice faces. We'll get everything else covered. Because stuff likes to leak over a little bit sometimes. I usually go through and go down a little bit on the sides, on all four sides. Give it a coat. Including up in here. Okay. Now there we go. Now the next step is to use this Q-tip with some isopropyl IPA alcohol. I can't say the word. So, I like to spray away. Just kind of get the tip of the Q-tip. Clean all your surfaces. Make sure you get all the Vaseline or petroleum jelly off. The nice thing with the IPA is it cleans pretty quickly, or dries pretty quickly, I should say, and it cleans pretty quickly too, so kind of a win-win. This one I kind of crowded a little bit, both intentionally and unintentionally. It didn't look like it was going to be that crowded when I first started on it last night. Now it does. Dry end. Start its drying process. This part's actually pretty quick usually. I always like to change my angles against my light and see if anything stands out. Just drag a little bit down there. See it in your light there. Oh, it looks like a watermelon candy. These two. And then teardrop D8. And that's that. So, let's make some more noise over here. Our next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our mold system. Let's get that back a little bit. Grab our mold system and clean off the parts we need. Oh, actually, we don't need the bottom. So we need the two sides. And two ends. So I want to glue this back in place. So it's very important that you don't clean these with isopropyl alcohol. I don't remember if I went over that already or not. So if you just use them for mold maker purposes with silicone, I'm going to keep up the camera, sorry. Wipe them down with your brushes, good enough. Alright, wiping them down with your rag is good enough. I'll just drop that on the floor there. But now what we need to do is glue this piece back onto this piece. Luckily, I got my trusty Gorilla Glue. Make sure what parts line up first. Nope. Yep. Just a little drop is all you need. The only crappy part, get this bad boy locked in and holding it until it dries. So we'll probably do a jump shot right about here. Good as new with a little bit of residues. Smooth that out a little bit. Luckily it's not a part of the vinyl that it's smooth. While that's going on, we can start on some of the others. So I like to put my bottom part flat to the bottom of the mold. Luckily these only go in one direction. So we're already golden there. So that's not going to go there. This piece has to go here. So instead of doing it that way, we give that more time to dry. Oops. Sometimes they just don't want to go in. Sometimes they go right in. So the goal here is going to get this in here about built about halfway up, but even. And I did that in the wrong direction, so I'm going to get some junk on my hands. So now, as you can see, I got plenty of room. There's overlap from my other side here. Here's the part that was broken. It's bonded. Again, this can only go in one way. This itself plate creates a pretty decent seal. Press it down and it's all together, but it can still leak. What do we use when we got leaks? Painter's tape. What I will do is I will have to build across the bottom because nothing sticks to silicone. I'll start my tape. Get a good bond on the acrylic. I try to push it to create a little bit of a seal against the acrylic. And wrap it on the edge if I can. So now this point, we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing over on this side. Give ourselves a length of tape. We are going to do that same method. I'll try to make my crease with my fingernail here. Wrap it around the edge. Kind of fold it in. And if we fold this over, it does not stick. So we can tell that kind of pushed itself up a little bit when we did that. Now we can push down, put our fingers on these. It feels like it's pretty even in comparison. These top pieces up here don't matter. But what I will do is, because I was fingerprinting again, usually I wear gloves, but I haven't got to that point yet. I'll just go over them one more time for cleanup. Nobody wants a fingerprint on their beautifully cast resin dies, do they? I like to tip off the butt ends there. Usually do it like so. I'm going to take my hobby knife and I slice up on these corners here. It lets me fold down. And over them. Try to keep stuff from flapping around too much. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do that from a different angle because that was not working out. There we go. Trying to see better from here. Just going to make sure the tape's good. Always use great caution. You can use a sharp blade or any blade. Like I was saying, I like to fold down in the middle, and over, and down. This isn't quite sticking the way I want it to, but it's going to be off the bottom, so it doesn't matter. At that point, I'm going to trim off any of this top stuff just in case it wants to try to get in the way a little bit later. Everything else seems like it's pretty good. And now, after I cap my knife, throw this out, I'm going to make some silicone. I like to use Smooth On's Dragon Skin 20, pretty awesome. I buy these Pixis graduated measuring cups. They have ounces and milliliters on them. Oops. Again, I only need 2 ounces here, so I'll carefully pour 1 ounce of part B. So I need to make sure I add the same, so we're going to be close to 2.5. Oops, maybe. That should be just about right. So now the instructions say to mix for 3 minutes. A lot of people will say for 5, but I'll show you why. Especially like when I'm doing resin. it works in silicone too. I only do 3 minutes, and that's because I'm going to add color to it. I usually do my initial mix and then add my color. So, Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Let's hit the time lapse. There's the alarm. Alexa, stop. So this top, I really want to see what my fluorescent green will do. It does not take a lot of color. There's like 4 drops maybe. Let's see what that does for it, huh? Oh yeah. And remember, the paint will thin this a little bit, but not super much, as long as you're just using a couple drops here and there. This almost reminds me of an over-frozen Slammer popsicle from back in the day. Those nice lemon light popsicles they used to sell you at school for $1 if you're my age. But I want it to be a little bit more green. So we're going to add a little bit more. That was, oops, a lot bit more. Oh well, here we go. That is indeed some bright green I've got. Looking good. Alright, I think we're ready to pour the lid on. So what I do here, very carefully hold my cup. I try to pick out a point where I got the most space to start pouring. I always say pour high and steady and slow. Again, we use 2 ounces for the lid here. We want to get it on everything. We want it to be above the key markers, which are the higher raised areas. Don't mind my giant arm getting in the way here. Man, it's almost going to look like a watermelon with a rind when we get done here. That's cool. Wasn't even my intention, but I like watermelon, so bonus. So you see it starts petering out there, but I got a lot left in my cup. So what you do is you get the old ski grape root, you can bring it out like that. It's kind of thin on this side. Use the edge of your cup carefully. Trying to help assist with getting this extra stuff off here. And the top, oops, that's messy. The top here does not have to be as well done, or as thick, I should say. It needs to be as well done as the bottom does. You're not popping dice in and out of the top. Try to scrape that a little bit off the side. Now, you can kind of see we got our stuff built up. Time to get it in the pressure pot. So we're going to move the camera for that one here in a second. That is, it's leftover board for my small pressure pot, but it's going to go in the small pressure pot. I like to put it on that to help get it in and out without dropping it. Now I just lower her down in there. I always like to check, try to make sure it's level. It looks like it's not quite level. Not that direction at least. That's definitely not level. And that is. So you'll notice here too, you can kind of see it marked 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that helps me. Let's just take the level out. That helps me know where to place my pressure pot lid. Sometimes it does not want to sew right if I don't do that. Now the trick with the pressure pot is make sure that when you tighten these things, you tighten them evenly and you tighten them tight. Hands across from each other. That one's way out there. Now, we're going to add the noisy cricket of the air compressor. And with that, we're at 40 psi. I know that's typically the resin temperature, or pressure, but hey, you know what? The Armored Pig approves. We're going to let this cure for at least 4 hours before we demold. And then we'll see what that looks like. Thanks.